host FANNIE-P is in the building. Y'all make sure y'all drop them blue hearts for FANNIE-P. Yo, we want to shout out the sponsors for tonight. Got to give y'all Invent Help first. These guys have taken their job seriously. When I've came and made my pitch to these guys online, of course, I had to create the profile. Now, me, I had to pay in full. Y'all can create a profile and get 15% off upon signing. If y'all use promo code INVENT, yo. So make sure that y'all tap in, and that's Y000. Next up, Apex. Listen, I got me a phone holder that's just been the best for me when it comes to recording videos, when it comes to just having my phone on the stand where I can record my music, whatever I need to do, and I need to keep that phone elevated. Apex got you. They even got electrical ones that will spin up on you moving away from the camera. So tap in with Apex, use promo code YO, that's Y000, get you up to 30% off. And as for the TSM products, you already know we're gonna get into that at the end. I don't want to give y'all too many promos in the beginning of the show. FANNIE-P, what we got going on, man?
Well, we got a special treat for you guys tonight. We got a 90-minute show for you guys. So if you could get your adult refreshments, get ready, because it's going to be hot and steamy. And we got a surprise for you guys as well, and a special treat for myself and TSM, of course. And before we get started, I want to acknowledge the host. TSM, how you feeling tonight? What's going on?
Funny, I have energy like I've never had before. Today I felt like, yo, I woke up, I put on my cape, and now it's time to conquer the day. And everything I did, no matter how small or little it may have been, I conquered it. And I'm enjoying the rest of my night. Lisa Bell is the first one up in the building. Much respect. We really appreciate you, Lisa Bell. I think last one chat interactor. So we really appreciate you for that. We owe you a night both.
Hey Lisa, how you doing, boo? Thank you so much for coming, girl. Thank you. And
I'll be back right back, Fanny.
congratulations
I'm
on
gonna
your
step away from
sub
my mic for a
success.
minute.
Congratulations on your sub amount. Congratulations, girl. Well deserved. All that hard work you putting over there. Congratulations, girl. But once again, I want to say shout out to the Cloud Watchers, Reverb Nation, and the Replay Gang, and of course, everyone entering the chat. Shout out to Ashley coming in. And don't forget to like this video as each and every one of you are entering the chat. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate you. I know TSM appreciate you as. And if you can, please share this video. Once again, we have a 90-minute live tonight. So if you guys are ready for the fun and the surprise we have for you guys, give me a thumbs up in the chat. And once again, I appreciate you for all being here. Thank you, because you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here with us. And as usual, I have my commentary and I have some stories I want to share with you guys. I have four. And as usual, I have to give my disclaimer for each story that if you are triggered in any way at all, I just ask that you graciously remove yourself from the chat, because I don't want anyone in here to be triggered, because that's not what we're here for. So once again, shout out to you guys, and thanks each and every one of y'all for being here. I appreciate you. Shout out to, let me make sure because I don't want to miss anybody. Lisa Bell, Ashley, Rachel T, and Zay Zay. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, as well as Reverb Nation, the Replay Gang, and the Cloud Watchers. So if you choose, it's your choice to get your adult refreshers to hey Bree Bree, how you doing, love? Thank you so much for being here. to quench your thirst, get your little snacky snack, because you got 90 minutes with us, and we thank you. And if you can't stay the whole 90 minutes, that's cool, because we know that you love us and the love is real. And those who choose to stay with us, we love you too. And thank you so, so much. Oh, thank you so much, Bree Bree. I miss you too, boo. Thank you. And if any of you guys don't know, Bree Bree is the ambassador for VL. And if you don't know what VL is, that is virgin love. And virgin love signifies purity and innocence. And thank you for each and every one of y'all coming in. Jasmine Galloway, thank you so much for being here. And thank you guys for liking this video as you entered the chat. Is there anything you want anybody to know, TSM, before I get started?
Yeah, no, listen, I know that you thanked them on our behalf. I just wanted to say thanks to everybody on my behalf, from my voice, on behalf of family. Means a lot. Yeah, make sure y'all got y'all beverages ready for you to tap in. We got some great commentary for y'all. And listen, I can't enough to go check out the spread shop. Go to spreadshop.com/TSM-RAPPER shop. We have so many items for babies, kids, cooks, just women in general. Anything that you may need, we have it there for you on the spread shop. So definitely go tap in. And y'all know me personally, so y'all can get whatever you need to get half or a percentage off on. I got you. Tap in. Let's enjoy this show, y'all.
And thank you, Zay Zay and Bree Bree, for giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you so, so much. Your support is truly, truly appreciated. If you guys are ready, listen. Before I get started, I want to give a disclaimer about these videos. If you become triggered in any way, I just ask that you graciously leave the chat. Um, these videos are to make you aware of what's going on in all communities across the U.S. and abroad. Um, these videos are to educate and bring awareness to what's happening to our children. And I want everybody to know and understand my commentary isn't to bash, humiliate anyone in these videos. And I want to say shout out to each and every one that I've used their commentary to bring these stories to you. Some of you may have seen them, some of you may have not seen them. But nonetheless, I just want to say before I get started with any of these videos, whether you're a parent or not, a parent figure, protect your children, protect these children, because as an adult, that's what they need. Um, the first thing, the first video I have, it just really, it angered me. I can't lie to you. As a mom, it's really disheartening when I see stories like this, especially when we talk about our children. And I say our children because they are our children. They may not be our biological children, but they are children nonetheless. So, once again, if you are triggered by any of this commentary or videos that I'm about to show you guys, I just ask that you graciously remove yourself from the chat. I understand. I'm pretty sure TSM understands as well. But I wanted to bring these stories to you to bring awareness of what's going on in our communities and to educate you on what you can do when you see these things happening. So, if you guys are ready, let me cue them up. This is the first story, guys. Baby was put up against a wall because he lost an NBA 2K game. On November 5, Jalen
20, from Wisconsin, took charge of his 8-month-old son, JW, while his mother was away. When the child's mother returned, she noticed something was wrong with the fenced-in child. His arms were twitching, and he could barely breathe. She called 911, and the child was rushed to the hospital. Police say some of the wounds on JW's body are in various stages of healing. One eye is swollen, and there are injuries to his arms and legs. At least 6 broken ribs and a broken collarbone. They said, "This is not the first time this has happened in terms of the healing process of the broken ribs." Initially, Jaron told police that his mother accidentally let her child hit a door frame, but later child accidentally fell on his own. He eventually admitted that he was down by 2 points in the NBA 2K game while holding JW, and after feeling very angry, he put JW against the wall and admitted to hearing a loud bang after the incident. When he heard in court that his son might not survive, he became emotional, shook his head, and cried. The child's mother was also reportedly taken into custody, and it is unclear what charges were received. Prosecutors say that if convicted, Jalen faces life in prison. They need to give him back. If somebody has it. 8-month-old baby was put up against a wall because he lost an NBA 2K game. On November 5, Jalen White, 20, from Wisconsin.
Now, this story was very upsetting because this was a baby. And I'm not saying that only because it was a baby involved. I'm saying that because this was done by the hands of this child father. All because of a game that he was playing. Now, I'm not a gamer, I'm not into games or anything like that, but could it ever be that serious that you would cause physical harm to your child over a game? Hey Liz, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Um, and it just makes me sad because children are the one children, they look to their parents for security and safety. And that's not what this child got. And it's I don't know, like the story said, um, they're not aware of why the mother was taken into custody. So I really don't want to speak on her because I'm not aware why she was taken into custody. But for the mere fact that this man did this to his very own child, that's very disturbing to me. How do you feel about this story, TSM?
Well, first off, you have to understand that if right now, if um if I sent my child to your house, Fanny, and say, yo, little Earth can stay the night with Fanny, right? And let's say Fanny went to the store and left little Earth with the other adults in the house. If something happened to little Earth, you're the response for that. Whether you did something to that child or not, you still have to be taken into custody. Not to change the narrative, but just as an example, um, if it's two guys that say, "Yo, let's go and rob this store," and one of the guys in the middle of that robbery took in the life of the clerk, both those guys will be charged for the same crime. And so that's what you have in this instance. And when I heard the story, I think I've heard the story before, and some may say distractions. The video game could have been a distraction, or social media could be distractions for most parents, the majority of parents. That's true, and then again, it's not true. What's happening is you have a lot of people. It's not parents yet. You have a lot of people that's making baby and they becoming parents for the first time with no experience whatsoever. A lot of people don't opt into parenting classes. People feel like responsible mom or a acknowledged mom or dad to be able to take these classes. Listen, you can be the best parent ever. There's still something new that you're going to learn during those parent classes, and that's what certain things like this are in structure for. And I feel like both the mom and the dad should have been going to some kind of parenting classes because the mom wasn't around when it happened. The father was playing the game. Therefore, both parents was distracted from this child's um wanting or needing for attention. And during the midst of that, one of the distracted parents got angry, took it out on the child. Now this situation occurred. And so very tricky, it's very sad. Um
You glitching a little bit. It's just disheartening because these children are being born in such a violent situation. As parents, it's our job, our due diligence to protect our children and not make them become our victims. And I just feel like you said, people are having children that are not ready to be parents, that are not parents. And for this baby to suffer at the hands of his very own father over a game, my question is, was this the first time that this ever happened? Or was this an event that just went too far at this particular time? You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you get so angry at a child to the point that you want to cause them bodily harm when they're defenseless? I just have so many questions that's running around in my head. And it's just like when you were saying that, when people commit a crime, they don't have to physically commit the crime themselves, but just to be there. We don't know that the mother was there. That's why I wasn't going in on her as much because I don't know the backstory to why she was arrested. But what I do know is that this child is no longer in the condition in which this child should have been in. And it happened by the hands of this little boy's dad. And, little boys, they look up to their fathers. And this baby didn't even have that opportunity because his father decided to take his anger out on his very own child. So that's very sad to me, and it's not. Hey, Uncle Bill, thank you so much for being here.
Yo,
Um,
Fanny,
it's
let me cut you off for a second, right? Because this reminds me of a story that's, I would say, in the same category, but it's not similar. And you know how my mind is here and it's there, and I don't want to lose this thought. But in the midst of this story, I gotta bring the story up so that we can elaborate on this as well. I don't know if you definitely send you the video after. So there's this police officer, and the police officer is in the living room watching something. The wife is in the kitchen cooking, and baby is crying. And the wife heard, the last thing she heard was the police officer, which is who's the dad, and I believe that the baby is like no more than 6 months old. The dad was like, "Shut the f up, you effing baby," and the mom said it
wait,
at a
stop.
scream.
That's my next story.
All right, let's get into it. All right, let's get
That's my
into it
next
then. Go
story.
ahead. We on the same accord. We on the same
Yeah,
accord.
that's
Let's
my
go.
next story. I believe I sent you that story.
I
Yes,
actually
this is
didn't.
a story.
I didn't get to catch none of the stories that you sent me, and I really prefer you not to send me the stories because I want to give my um, first initial take. That's why I don't watch the stories, but I did not even catch the stories. I might have caught one story, and after I watched that story, the next YouTube give you like the option, the automatic option, like here's the second video you can watch. The next story that popped up was that story, and so I clicked on it.
Um, Once again, I want to give a disclaimer. We are bringing awareness to these children. This videos are not here to bash, humiliate the accused. Um, and it is just, if you are being triggered by any of these stories, I just ask that you graciously remove yourself from the chat. This is not to bully, once again, humiliate anyone. It's just to bring awareness and to educate what's going on with our children. And as a community, we need to do better with taking care of these children as well as protecting them. So this is the next story, guys. Come on, don't freeze upon me.
Fanny, don't
Throat
tonight. Don't
so
make me.
forcefully that it caused a brain bleed has been fired from the Portage Police Department. 32-year-old Cameron Coronado's wife told police their 6-month-old baby was fussy early in the morning, so Cameron got up and took him into the kitchen. The mom said she then heard Cameron shout out, "Oh my God, shut the F up," and then heard the baby's cry change. So mom walks into the kitchen to see what's going on and sees her husband Cameron wiping blood away from the baby's mouth with a baby wipe. She asks Cameron what the hell happened, and he says he got frustrated with the baby crying and forced the pacifier down his throat. So Cameron decides to take the baby on a car ride to calm him down, but when they got back 15 minutes later, the baby was still screaming in pain. He wouldn't swallow and he refused to eat. So Cameron's wife asked if they should take the baby to the hospital, and Cameron apparently said, quote, "I know what will happen to me if we take him." So they end up taking him to the ER, and the doctor confirms the pacifier was pushed so forcefully down his throat that the first layer of skin had been torn off and the baby had a brain bleed. Mom then told police that things like this have happened before, but she was afraid to tell anyone because he's a cop. She said once when he was frustrated with their daughter, he squeezed her super tight and then punched a hole in the wall. She also said that on the evening of July 9th, both the kids were fussy, and Cameron threatened to, quote, "kill these effing kids if they didn't stop crying." Coronado has been fired from his job and charged with child abuse. Bond is set at $10K. The police officer who shoved
10K. That fooled me. 10K for harming a innocent newborn. 10K. What are your thoughts about that, TSM?
Man, you know what? At this point with this one, it's like using protection, right? Um, the early shows that people thought was, and the shows was actually educational. The shows actually had a purpose, and the specific show I'm speaking of, I remember a while back, I believe it was Maury Povich. He had a show, and on his show, he had this big army military guy comes, and these fast little girls that wanted to have kids at an early age, and that was out sleeping and all of this. Well, they had an experience to be with a real. They would bring moms up to the show, and allow moms to turn over their babies to these teenage girls for 4 to 5 days. And after that experience of going through hell, trying to take care of a baby, knowing the experience, knowing how to deal with, those type of shows need to come back. Because, and I feel like a lot of adults even need to be played. I feel like that shouldn't even be a place for just teenagers who wanted to have kids. I feel like now parents, before it was just adults who wanted to have kids. I feel like a lot of adults who think about having babies need to have this experience, because um it's just sad. It's real sad.
I just feel like whether you a parent or not, patience is something that when it comes to children, you have to on the daily. And I know how frustrating it is. I know how overwhelming it is. And then when I heard them speak about the mom, what he did with their first child, and I understand her hesitation about reporting him because he was a cop.
I don't.
But at
I
the
really
same,
don't. I don't. I
wait a
don't
minute,
understand. I get. I disagree
let
with
me
you, Fanny.
wait a
And I'm
minute,
gonna tell you. Hold on. I'm
let
gonna
me
tell you
finish.
why. All right, go ahead.
And the reason why I say that is because we all know that, and I'm not saying that it's right. That's not what I'm saying. We all know when it comes to law enforcement that it's certain things that's been done and they have gotten off the hook. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you had your first child with this man and he caused bodily harm to y'all first kid. And it's like at that moment, that was your way out. As a mom, you put your hands on my child. That's just it. There's no redemption. There's no I'm sorry, we gonna fix this. No. That's not
All right,
what's
so hold
happening
on.
because
Hold on. Which proves my point. Step in. As a parent, right? What's the one thing that we all have in common when it comes to our children and us? That we will go leave this earth before we allow anything to happen to our kids, right? I don't give a damn how much they get away with it. As a parent, first instance is to go to the police, if not deal with the situation myself. Even do whatever, right? So if we willing to leave earth before our children, before we let something happen to our children, why hesitate? Thing. The mom ought to be a damn shame. I don't understand why she hesitated to call the police. I wouldn't hesitate, even though it was stuff. It's just the sheer fact I'm not about to feel like, and maybe she didn't feel like that. Maybe this or that to happen. Maybe she just wasn't that one to think, but just thought as a, even if you're not a good parent, I feel like that when you have that baby, that one locked in moment is, yo, I ain't gonna never let nothing happen to this baby. Even if I don't want to be a mother and I give this baby up to my auntie, I'm not gonna let nothing bad happen to this baby. And so just that thought process, I would think every parent would have that, especially if they have common sense. And this mom seemed to have some kind of common sense. She don't understand where hesitation at with that one right there. She gets no excuses for that one. She could have saved that baby. She could have saved that baby, and that baby could have had a regular life growing up.
that's the thing. That's an assumption that we all make when people have children, that they assume that a parent is naturally created. A lot of these people are having children that are not mentally prepared to be parents of these children. And, you know, as we go on, as I start to share these stories, that's going to explain more to what I just currently said. Um, Not everyone who has children are actually parents. Let's be honest. Um, I think it's very. I've learned over time that it's very presumptuous that people might think, oh, because they have a kid, that they automatically know the rights and wrongs, the in or outs, the do's and the don'ts on taking care of a child. But that's not always the case. It's not. You have situations to where you got parents who they have their children at a very young age. Now, I'm not making no excuse for that either. Then you have parents who have children. There are multiple addictions involved. I'm not making an excuse for that. Um, and it's just like there are many things, many factors that take place when you become a parent. We all know there's not a manuscript to parenthood. How I may raise my children may not be a way that anybody in the chat may raise a child. And and I just think it's so unfortunate that people are having children at a record number but are not actually parents, if that makes sense. And it's just so sad because these children are being used as props, and these parents are not being held accountable as a stranger would. You know what I'm saying? Like 10K for doing what he did to his own child. 10K. Now, is that 10K cash or is that 10K 10%? Regardless of what that bond was, he has to live with the fact that he did this to both of his children, not just one, but both of his children. And the mother has to live with the fact that she was there when these things happened. And and it's just and it's sad to me. It's just very sad to me. And that's the sad part. And the thing of it is, there's a woman out there for men like this, that they have the mindset of, well, it wasn't me. It could be you. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to bring awareness that, you know, whether you a mom figure in a child's life, pay attention, be diligent. You know, sometimes you might be afraid, but step out of that fear and protect that child, because that child is looking for your protection. You know, and it's just like, I'm pretty sure that both children looked their father in his eyes and was just like, why are you doing this to me? What did I do to deserve this? And my next story, I first heard about this story. I want to shout out to him. He's one of my favorite content creators. Um, by the name of Carlos King, but I did not get this from his channel. I was made aware of this story. Mhm. You heard what he said. Not his nail polish, but yo nail polish. Go get that. Go cop that. Um, this next story. Oh wow. When I tell you this story right here, woo, it had me swinging in the air. I was like, Lord. But this story right here. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all will see me. I promise y'all see me before this live is over with. Um, this story is has two parts to it. So, um, I just want to say this once again. This story is not to bash, humiliate the accused, but to bring awareness to what's going on in our communities involving our children. And once again, this is a story involving, I should say, two parents. So this is actually part one to this story that just really threw me through a loop. I was just like, am I really, really, really watching this right now? And I was just stunned. I was really, really stunned by this story. It threw me off. Hold on.
Milwaukee police say 6 children living inside of a storage unit in the city. And now their parents are facing multiple felony counts of child neglect. Court documents detail the unsafe and unsanitary inside that storage unit. Officers were first alerted by a person who heard a baby crying. Both parents were in court today. Dua Israr joins us live in the newsroom with what happened during what was an emotional hearing. Dua. Amanda Jessup, 26-year-old Azia Zielinski broke down in tears as the court commissioner raised the suggested bond from $1,000 to $5,000 cash bail. According to the criminal complaint, Zielinski and 33-year-old Charles Dupriest were identified as the parents of 6 children found living in a storage unit at StoreSafe, the oldest child being 9 years old and the youngest child just 2 months old.
We have your children stating that they had no food, that the only food they found was from the garbage. They didn't have a bathroom, they used a bucket.
According to this criminal complaint, Milwaukee police officers were called to a storage unit inside StoreSafe after reports of a child crying inside. When officers opened the unit, they found a bucket containing urine in the middle of the room and 6 children aged 9, 7, 5, 3, 2 years old, and a 2-month-old baby. The oldest child told officers that they lived in the storage unit 50% of the time. He identified 33-year-old Charles Dupriest and 26-year-old Azia Zielinski as their parents. The 9-year-old told officers his parents would drink tequila and vodka, become drunk, and slump over. He also told officers Dupriest would often discipline them with whoopings, including one with such force that his lips began to bleed. Officers found Dupriest and Zielinski in a black Ford SUV in the parking lot with their dog, along with a firearm. Zielinski told officers the family was living at Joy House, a shelter in Milwaukee, before they were kicked out after she gave birth. In a statement sent to CBS 58, Milwaukee Rescue Mission, which operates Joy House, stated the family had stayed with them in 2023 and 2025. A spokesperson told CBS 58 the family had secured permanent housing before leaving Joy House. According to the criminal complaint, the family received $2,000 a month in Social Security benefits. In intake court, the state asked for a $1,000 signature bond, but the intake commissioner disagreed, stating she had a big objection.
And what's more disturbing than all of that are the statements that both you and Father had made, that you and the children could have stayed with family members.
Now, a cash bail was set at $5,000 for Zielinski because she did not have a previous criminal history. A $20,000 cash bail was set for Dupriest. Dupriest was convicted of third-degree sexual assault of a 13-year-old in 2010 in Ozaukee County. Now, if found guilty, Dupriest faces up to 25 and a half years in prison. Zalitsky faces up to 15 and a half years in prison. Amanda and Jessup.
I hope you guys were paying very close attention to this story. This story involves 6 children, ages 9 years old, all the way down to 2 months old. They were getting government assistance, and the only thing these parents cared about at this particular time was their dog. The dog stayed in a car with them. The car that they had was 3 row, and the dog had a row by himself. And of course, the parents sat in the front row, and the second row was completely and totally empty. The only reason why these parents were even caught was because the 2-month-old baby began to scream and cry due to the pain that this 2-month-old was in. And the only light that they had was the light that illuminated under the door from the storage unit. They were parked outside of the storage unit inside the vehicle, and they would periodically go inside the storage unit to give the older children a bag of chips, a soda, or a juice for all five to share. Um, what are your thoughts about this?
Yo, when I first heard, when I was first listening, and I heard like the family is standing in the storage unit, I'm thinking something like, yo, maybe they trying to get up on their feet. But then I hear about the dog. Then I hear about the $2,000 a month, and it's like I don't even know what to think about this. And the case that the male subject has been charged with brings me back to what I just said, that women will still be with any type of bad energy. And what's even more sad is I feel like a lot of these moms aren't even was even raised like that, aren't genetically thought like that to be like that, and that the bad energy from a male like that comes around, and these mothers will fall into victim to anything in any type of situation. They will put their children's lives at risk. And this is just one of these situations, and that guy ought to be shamed. If I was judge, there would have been no bail at all. Like there would be no bond at all. Man, I wish I could say what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't because I'm on YouTube. But hopefully that dad runs inside jail, that's not feeling what he's done. That's all I can say. But that's crazy. That's real crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot. Why be in a storage unit when you get $2,000 a month? That's well means enough to pay. A hotel is what, like, per month, like $450 a month. Like that's, and you still have some money left over. So I'm just trying to figure out. Um, drinking tequila and gonna tequila and slumping over, and it's just like, man, it brings me back to what you said. It's a lot of people fit to be parents before they even became this place. I think they putting a lot of laws into place. I think that needs to be one of the laws they need to make sure before you, like, it's dang near a felony if you have a child and you mentally unstable to have a kid. Like they should start checking up on people and like whatever the case may be, and just get some kind of test did just to see if this is literally mentally enough or mentally deemed to have children or not. Now, if they want to change and take away people's rights and change the law, be one thing that they should do, because why bring all these humans into the world just to take them out or make sure that they're living in a traumatized way? I'm not getting it. So if we gonna take away lives from children by allowing to have kids, if we're gonna give them the rights to do that just to take away these kids' lives or screw their lives up or scrutinize their situation, why not take away some of these people's rights who's mentally undeemed to have children?
Um, the thing that stood out to me was when they were staying at the Joy. I'm not sure if any, whether it be a church or a homeless shelter itself, before they allow you to leave that facility, in most instances, find a place to stay, but also situation that these parents did have housing in place. And for them to end up in a storage unit and them sitting outside of their vehicle, and keep in mind with their dog in a vehicle that had 3 rows, the mom and the dad front row,
Yo,
the
let me
middle
let
row
me let me let me
completely.
the lady, like, what the hell is she's doing having babies while she's in this predicament to where she can't even take care of the ones she have? Like, how did that situation even come about?
Because they kept getting evicted from their they had multiple evictions from their previous due to evictions. But they had their vehicle. They were getting $2,000 um in money and also $2,000 a month in food stamps. They had a vehicle that
Yeah.
was large enough to, yeah, they had a vehicle.
So was any of them work? They wasn't working.
No.
They, wow.
Take a moment, TSM. Take
They
a
got
moment.
hit.
Mute your mic. Mute your mic. Take a moment. Um, Once again, this story is very, very sad. They had a vehicle, three row vehicle at the front. The middle row was completely empty, and the dog had a row to himself. And they would bring a bag of chips. And a 2 month old. And the only reason month old baby, um, as a mom, you have to make sure that your children are taken care of and provided for. They care more about, now don't get me wrong when I say this, I have a dog. I'm a pet mom. I have a fur baby. But they care more about their dog than their 6 children. It, she just literally gave birth. And this is the life that you want for your children. And I don't know if you guys heard it in the court proceedings that the judge said they could have stayed with relatives. They could have. My question was, but you were giving you had housing in place before you guys left. What happened to that? Not only that, you had the means to make sure that your children not only ate, but ate on a environment. But that they chose to do. And the only thing, now just imagine, they didn't have, they used the restroom, there was a bucket. So it was a lot going on. And I've heard some people say postpartum, um, it's just a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in. TSM, you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm actually good. It's just like when you are the best, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand that they gotta do this or do that to get money because the daddy don't. And it's like, yo, like you know what I'm saying? Like we're eating, live that, and it's just like it's disappointing. This is enough to get you angry. Like this is enough to get a mom and dad angry.
I just, for the mere fact that she had six beautiful babies, six babies, a 2-month old, you getting $2,000 a month in food stamps, and the only thing you offered your children, was a bag of chips for them to share, a soda, and a juice.
You know exactly what's going on behind the scenes, and um, especially, and I hate to be a stereotype, but sometimes selling the food stamps. He probably was the one that's, you know what I'm saying, influencing her to do it. And that's why you bringing your baby, because ain't no way, you know what I'm saying, that you can be that neglectful. I mean, you can, but if you care enough to these children inside storage, you got some kind of care as a parent. You placing them in the storage. You is bringing chips. It ain't so if you got that much care, if you had those food stamps, you gonna bring more than just some chips, which leads me to believe that lady is selling her food stamps. This is a natural thing. Trust me, especially in the black community. And I'm just being real. I know a lot of people that do this. Like this is a natural thing. Some people will do that before they even think about feeding a kid. And I'm just being real with y'all.
For me, when I hear people make excuses for them, it's like, when are the children going to be the priority? Like in all of the stories that we heard tonight, when are the children the priority? Why are the parents giving a slap on the wrist, $10,000 bond? This situation, a $5,000 bond, and you know they're not realizing the long life trauma these children have to experience by the hand of their parents. And to see the mother in court crying and shaking her head, it's just like, why weren't you the cheerleader for your children? Why weren't you the defender for your children? And it's just
Oh,
disheartening because
my bad to cut you off, Fanny, but yeah, we do gotta acknowledge them. Thank you for saying that, Liz. Shout out to the background watchers. We definitely got a crew watching that's that's not wanting to drop down in the chat for whatever reason, but we really appreciate time. We really appreciate y'all being here. So shout out to y'all. And y'all is just as important as the people in the chat. And Liz and Zay Zay, thank y'all for holding it down in the chat for us. Go ahead, Fanny.
Yes, thank you for the Cloud Watchers, the replay gang, and of course, Revert Nation. Thank you, each and every one of you guys. Thank you for everyone in the chat. And thank you so much for being here. And we're almost an hour in. And shout out to you ladies for being here, hanging in with us. Thank you so, so very much. Um, and if you can, please share this video. Thank you so, so very much for you ladies being here, holding us down and giving us some love in the chat. Thank you so, so very much. Liz said, yes, me and Zay say, we got this. Um, and it's just, you know, it's situations like this. Um, it's a quiet storm. And the reason why I say that is because this, they had 6 beautiful children. They were giving
That's a
things
blessing,
that
Fanny. That's a blessing. They didn't just have
exactly,
6 beautiful children. They had 6 blessings.
exactly. And it's like you've been given what you needed to make sure that these children survive, literally. As parents stopped at their ability to survive, but God. And it's like people have to understand that when it comes to children, it's like why are you playing with God's favorite? You think you're gonna get away with this? You think you're gonna get a pass? And it's so disheartening because um as a parent you want the best for your children, but in these situations I didn't see any of that. So we're going to continue on with this story. Are you guys ready? And thanks again ladies for holding it down. I appreciate it. And if there's anybody else in the
Absolutely.
chat, thank you so so much for holding it down as well. And for everyone
We
who
appreciate
came
y'all.
through the support, thank you so so much.
Here at 11 o'clock, 6 children rescued from a locked storage unit on the city's north side overnight. Police and fire rushed to the store safe of Silver Springs near 27th and Silver Spring after a welfare call. That's where Zoe Henry joins us from right now. Zoe, 2 adults have been arrested. Yeah, Darren, that's right. The police are still on scene this morning. We actually saw a forensics truck pull in here and through the gate back this way. It's actually locked. That's why we're on the outside here. But they tell 12 News they're investigating this as a possible child abuse or neglect. Officers were initially called here to store safe at 27th Silver Spring around 1:30 this morning for a welfare check. Police are on scene requesting a forced entry. They believe a baby is locked in one of the storage lockers. Inside that locked unit, police say they found 6 children ranging from 2 months old to 9 years old. And no adults were with them at the time. A 26-year-old and 33-year-old are now in custody. The district attorney's office is reviewing charges. Now, what's your reaction? Confused. I don't even know how to respond to it. Why would anyone keep, did you say 6 kids in a storage unit? To me, it sounds a cry for help, maybe. Or maybe just needed help and didn't know how to get it. They should be arrested. I would arrest them if I was the police. Zoe, do we know the condition of those 6 children? Milwaukee police say that none of the kids were hurt or are hurt at this time. We're still working to learn how the children and the 2 adults are connected and how all this happened in the first place. All right, 12 News Zoe Henry, live for us this morning in Milwaukee. Zoe, thank you.
Boom, here's your girl. How y'all doing? Um, this story is just I'm just lost for words actually. I am really, really lost for words. Like Why? Just like why? Like why are we doing this to our children? Like why? And it's just like you put them in a position to where you could have done better by your children, but you chose not to. It was a choice. You had housing, you had the financials, you had the vehicle, but you chose not to take babies. Why newborn? A newborn. I'm just trying to figure this out. Like why? Like what were you thinking? What did you gain from, and then for you to come into court being all emotional and upset? To me, were you upset because you got caught, or were you upset by the mere fact that you put your children in harm's way? Which one was it? Because they stayed in this place, I believe they said maybe 2 to 4 months. And what were the tears for? Were they for yourself or were they for your children? That's my question. TSM, what do you think?
At that point, the tears don't mean nothing. Um, you can't gain sympathy from them. Um, I feel like it was a fake, but I was just, when watching part two, I was just thinking to myself, when this man first heard that baby crying and that storage, could you imagine the tetrimony that was going through his head with all the trafficking that's going on, with all the bad things that's happening to little girls and little boys? Um, could you imagine what was going through his head? He could be thinking somebody's getting, held at gun, anything. And so that had to be traumatizing for that man. And even till this day, but I just don't feel like the parents, I don't feel like they've done enough to even feel like, okay, they got some kind of sympathy or they feel bad in some sense or some sort of way. And I hope this be charged as a felony, somewhere to like 25 years plus, probably depending on which state it's in. But it's more scary because people like this get a slap on the wrist. I feel like one of these parents is just gonna get hit with probation, with like some years of probation or something like that. And that's the dangerous part. Um, how far into this case are they? Do you know what's the process?
Well, the mom got a $5,000 bond because initially they wanted her to have a $1,000 PR bond, and the judge wasn't having it. The judge was like, "Are you serious? Are you kidding me?" And the mom has a $5,000 bond facing 15 years in prison. The dad has a $20,000 bond, and he's facing 25 years in prison. They both currently are still being held. Um, and both bonds are cash. There's no 10%. The judge was like, absolutely not, absolutely not. And the mom's defense attorney was reprimanded because he felt like just because this was her first offense, that she should have been able to get out on a PR bond of $1,000, and the judge was like, absolutely not. That is not going to happen. Um, so they both currently are still incarcerated, and for me, it's just like why you had the tools to succeed with your children, but you chose your recreation and your priorities over these beautiful children. And these children are currently in CPS custody, as they should be. And the mother, if she makes bond, will not be able to have any contact with these children at all. Um, Through herself, a third party, anything, she's not allowed to have any contact with these children. And it was frustrating to me because her attorney was like, this is her first offense. She doesn't have a previous record. What does that have to do with the fact that you harmed
I
your
mean,
own
that's
children?
that's 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 like going to the judge. saying, "Yo, judge, this man first time taking somebody's life, just cut him slack. Like a horrible crime is a horrible crime, and it's just like for me, I think it should have been one parent to say this is just too much. You don't put. I just think two idiots, in one box and a smart decision. I feel like it should. I'm just saying. I feel like it should always be somebody within a relationship that's a little more lighter than the other person. You know what I'm saying? Um, Within our case, I'm the rapper, you the manager, right? I can be very entertaining, but I know when it comes to certain ideas, I know that I'm knowledgeable, but I know that you gonna know 10 times more the better decision to make than I would because you're looking from the outside. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like even in certain situations where there's two police officers, that's partners, or me and you as rapper and manager, or whatever the case may be, I just feel like somebody should always be on a higher pedestal than the other person thinking wise, especially when it comes to parenting. Um, you know, Parents ain't always gonna make the best decision. That's why it comes with a pair. That's why God didn't give us just a mama or just the daddy. You know what I'm saying? They came with a pair. And so man, this one here is just like both the two stupid dogs, the case of the two stupid dogs. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad for the kids. Now, there's the bright side of this though, Fanny. The kids was able to get saved and sought out before something bad happened. There was cases like this where children starved and no longer living due to them not eating enough. And so thank God that that happened. What's your take on that aspect of it?
I agree, but even with that being said, you got to think as well. Chips and soda in a drink, that's not has no nutritional value at all. You know what I'm saying? The kids were in excruciating pain. They had to go to the bathroom in a bucket. They all were sleeping on, and just imagine for months you didn't have any light, only the light illuminating from under the door. No showering, no bath, none of that. Then because you're in so much pain, your dad comes in and put his hands on you because he's trying to prevent people noticing that they're living in a storage unit. They're sleeping in a vehicle where, now keep in mind, this took place in the summer in a scorching heat, while they're sitting in their vehicles with
Yo,
under
that's
AC.
strange. That's strange because I'm trying. How long did it say they was living? How long was they living in that storage unit?
They estimate anywhere from 2 to 4 months.
That's very strange, and I feel like, and don't get me wrong, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. I feel like that those type of businesses should have 24 hours camera because that's you basically protecting everybody's belongings. You know what I'm saying? This is people whole lives in the storage. Some people got stillborn babies in his storage and stuff like that. And I feel like if that was the case where they had that surveillance, that they should have noticed this. 4 months is too long before catching a whole family with all of those kids living in a storage. I feel like it's somewhere in there that storage unit should be held accountable for some kind of something because like I say, there's no way that long and not being noticed is crazy.
But you have to think too. It's just like in every situation. People gonna find a loophole. People gonna find a way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making any excuses for them because I'm a mom too. And this story just did a lot. It did a lot. Um for me because they failed these children on so many different levels and they had the tools to succeed, but they didn't. They didn't. They literally chose their dog over these beautiful babies. And it's like, you made accommodations for a dog and not your children? Not even a newborn? Not even a newborn. That in itself was just like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? Because when I heard this story, I had to watch it several times to make sure I had it straight because I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing something. There's no way this woman let her newborn, and yeah, she let her newborn was in a storage unit too, while the dog was chilling AC with the both of them. So it took a lot out of me with the story.
Oh,
That's
I
why I
really,
chose to read the story with this team.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thank you for this particular. You got to think about it. A lot of people shy away from topics like this, not just because they think it's going to jeopardize their channel, but just because they don't they want a hype crowd around. They want a crowd to come around and have fun from beginning to end, despite having a purpose of the live stream or a purpose of the show, which is why mine's is branded. Um we getting we're getting equity for this, and so I appreciate you coming with these type of topics, and we got 8 more minutes, Fanny, and so I wanted to know if you want to educate everybody that's watching, because we still got 23 people on Reverb Nation watching, um about what we got coming on this Friday. What do we have going on this Friday? Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Um, I'm sorry. I keep doing that. I apologize. Um, we have a surprise for you guys coming this Friday. So make sure you have on your post notifications a special treat for you guys, especially for the new people. It's going to have a movie night and not a movie that you're going to the movie theaters to go see, by the man himself and your girl over here. So we want you guys to stay tuned for Friday where you can see the hard work the TSM and I am so excited because we have worked very, very hard on these projects. We did not expect for it to took off. And I'm just so glad that we get on what we're talking about. But one of the movies we're gonna bring back is for you guys to see and engage in is Superman Good versus Evil. So you'll get to see those as well. So make sure when you come prepared with your popcorn, your sodas, things of that nature. And I won't tell you what the other one is, but we're gonna bring it to you guys, and we're gonna have our little commentary on the behind the scenes things that took place with both of these. So I'm excited for that. What about you, TSM?
Man. The ladies love yo exquisite, always great, beautiful promos. You know what I'm saying? And I always gotta add my extra sauce onto it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta tap in, man. Make sure that y'all tap in. Come lock in this Friday. It's gonna be a one night stand only. Y'all not gonna get to see this ever again. Cause once again, me and Fanny, we was here. Now we're here now. we charging for certain, things now. Like we at that level within this career. It's like we don't just give it all away for free. Y'all already got the YouTube channel, y'all got the TikTok, y'all got the TSM Instagram. I can't just give y'all everything for free. Understand? So this one night stand is a chance for y'all to come see some of the great graphical work that we put in. It's movies based upon us as superheroes with our voices as voice actors. So y'all have to tap in. This ain't no play. This ain't no Bluey. This ain't no Baby Shark do. This still real deal written and scripted by Fannie and myself. And y'all ain't only gonna see one. It's gonna be an extra one too. But she don't even want me to say nothing. So y'all gotta come tap in. And guess what? This is just a little taste of what y'all about to get in the future. Cause I gotta say this, and I've been wanting to say this for a minute. I just been holding back because y'all just crazy about my music. I'm taking 30 days off of music to focus on filming. So after this, because funny, I gotta show you the comments. They going crazy about the like Zay Zay song. Everybody like, yo, drop the full song, drop the full song. Like comments going nuts. So I'm gonna drop that. After that 30 days, I'm taking off and I'm gonna be focusing on filming with Fanny, and so y'all get to see more projects come out for that. And with that being said, I do gotta say this, Fanny, Zay Zay has been the only mod that stayed from beginning to end. Gotta respect that, Zay Zay. You are really, really appreciated. We definitely owe you a video. We owe you some love and respect. So we definitely gonna be reaching out to you, and tapping in with you. Fanny, what do you have to say to close out? Cause we done did it, girl. We done did it, girl. We done did it, girl. We done ran your watch hours up.
I want to say thank you so much for everybody who joined us tonight for this 90-minute live. Like I always say, you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to hang in with us tonight. We really appreciate you for joining us. Not only but engaging in the chat as well. Thank you guys for sharing this video, liking this video. Shout out to Reverb Nation, who always tuned in to your girl and to TSM as well. Thank you so much for Reverb Nation. Shout out to the Replay Gang and Cloud Watchers as well. And don't forget to leave on your post notifications for Friday for one night only, where you're going to see what me and TSM have been up to in the past. And trust and believe this is original content. This is things that we have put together. And what a ride it was. So I can't tell you what the other one is, but if you know, you know. Don't forget Friday. Come prepared. Come ready to enjoy yourselves as we give our commentary and our take on what we put together. TSM, anything else you want to add tonight before we close out?
Absolutely, man. So I definitely appreciate y'all coming through. Like she said, come see and come listen to us give our take on what we put together slash invented. And speaking of inventions, I'll make sure that y'all tap in with Invent Help. Y'all go right now, Invent Help. Go sign up for y'all promo. Use promo code Invent Yo. Y'all gonna get 15% off y'all promotion. And once y'all do that, the rest is history. Y'all gotta have a small idea. It just can't be something simple. Y'all gotta be like TSM, mix it up a little bit. Get shibby and jibby with it. And so, with that being said, Fanny, I appreciate you for being up here giving me this much time. Because you always tell them they can be doing other stuff with their time, but hell, you can be doing other stuff with your time, but you always choose to help your boy. And so I appreciate that very much, young lady. And let's give a hell of a show tomorrow. You're looking very exquisite, man. Oh, Zay Zay, I seen your pictures. You look very beautiful, young lady. I might steal that hairstyle though. I might just steal that. Fanny, if you ain't check out the pictures, go on over there, tap in, check
I
out the
saw.
pictures.
I saw.
Yeah. So y'all make sure that y'all tapping in on Friday. We're gonna promoting this thing up until Friday. So y'all make sure that y'all tap in because y'all know how Fanny do it. She have everything preparated, locked in, and loaded and pre-cooked for y'all. So we don't even be having to wait most times. I love y'all very much. Thank y'all for coming. I'm up out of here, man.